Of Counter Logic Gaming after the victory over Renegades. Another win for you guys on the up and up. It doesn't seem like there's too many troubles, but I'd want to know a little bit more about you, 6A, the new AD carry on CLG. What was it like coming up to play for Counter Logic Gaming, filling the shoes of Doublelift and kind of becoming a part of this organization?
It was definitely a lot of pressure. Feeling Doublelift, he's like one of the best AD carries, and I always look up to him a lot, so it was definitely a lot of pressure for me to perform, but I think I'm doing a better job every week, so.
That's awesome. And a little more about you. What kind of player are you? Are you a leader, a follower? Do you like to take aggressive moments to yourself? How do you kind of approach the game?
Well, back when I was in the Challenger scene, I guess I was kind of known as like a lane-dominant player and usually pretty aggressive, but since joining CLG, I'm usually a bit more reserved and not too like crazy now, so I just kind of play how the team wants.
So a little bit more of a follower. Do you feel like you're going to be able to grow a lot in that position with your style of play?
Yeah, definitely. I just do pretty much what the team wants me to, and just keep doing what I'm doing. And
stay on the back line, be safe, let Aframu bind, get Darshan on the front line. Everything's been working out, but I do have a question. It's going to be a tough matchup next week. You guys have Immortals to go against. How are you going to prepare?
Well, we're going to practice a lot, play a lot of solo queues, stuff like that. And I think it'll be a really good match. Looking forward to playing versus my friends in the bot lane, so it'll be cool.
Awesome. Hopefully you can take them down. It's always a better feeling when that happens. Congratulations on the win once again, and best of luck to the team in the future. We're going to throw it over to the analyst desk to break down the rest of the day now.
Thank you very much, Riv. A good win there for CLG, but really the focus here, I want to throw it onto Renegades as Freeze is back in the lineup. And I feel that CLG, to me, actually, is a good team to compare the ones that we're uncertain about because of their consistency. We talk about how good they are in lane swaps, and we even see that their level 1 is rather consistent, so they do a lot of the same things, so you get an opportunity to see the different teams react to CLG's play.
And some of our Renegades is this game, they actually managed to neutralize the lane swap very well, and eventually CLG just kind of settled on a standard laning phase in which they were losing. There was also a point in this game where Freeze was at something like 320 CS 30 minutes in incredible pace. So even though Renegades did eventually lose to CLG, definitely much better with Freeze than with the substitutes.
Yeah, I love the point about matching the lane swap, right? They noticed that the lane swap happened. They hard push the wave, recall, meet them up in the top lane. CLG says, no, we're going to keep this lane swap. They recall. Yeah. Renegade says, nah, not going to have. We'll follow you around the map all day if that's what you want.
When's the last time we saw someone actually follow a lane swap? And it works so well in this context because sometimes they're worried about, well, if we're a little late on one of the moves, then we're just going to get dove, and we're going to lose turrets, and we're going to be slow. But Renegades, at least in the early game, was on top.
Yeah, to Freak's point, they definitely did look better with Freeze in the lineup. Where things started to fall apart, though, actually were on individual bases for me. We saw things like Crumbs flashing into Cocoon, the one target who can orange himself out of the Cocoon. So some small mechanical things. Obviously, bummer first blood there given over, which gives LeBlanc a pretty large advantage in the mid lane, 400 gold plus experience advantage. Didn't make Alex's job any easier. So those kind of minor things, though, I feel if I'm, on a team, I'm saying these are things we can fix. That's not a problem. These larger macro stuff, that's the stuff where if we have it on lock, it's just about raising our individual play up to it.
Absolutely. And I do want to point out as well, CLG was probably pretty content playing it slow because they know late game LeBlanc and late game Gangplank can get pretty nuts, which may have been why CLG didn't push the lane swap as hard. But I do want to echo your point as well for Renegades. The mid to late game mistakes were there, and they still haven't been able to find a clean way of initiating fights, because obviously it's difficult when you're not really far ahead, but the fact that they actually have a lot of these games where they're pretty even and they're just consistently losing those.
They did try a few new things, though. We had the cannon, right? So when they had a flash, TPs into the back line, trying to flash in and engage. They were lucky enough to get the Thresh there for Remy, so some form of engage. They weren't requiring the Kalista, but still, as you mentioned, not finding the exact success that they needed out of it. If we flop over to CLG's side, it was already mentioned, but Huhi coming up big. His damage statistics there were fabulous. Stixay being kind of a rock on that Caitlyn. So with them, it really did, and actually Kobe's illustrated point of the Rek'Sai, having Xmithy on a tank, right? We did have that one kind of funny
He
fight
always has the one champion. It's whether it's Gragas, whether it's Rek'Sai, just the thing that he wants to play, and he will play it every game because the team just works very well around that. And Huhi finally put Saturday and Sunday together. Those are the important things for him right there. 2 good games in a row. Really, really happy with Huhi's play finally this week.
Yep, so that's about does it for that game. Closing out the weekend here, let's check out how